And speaking of those Aggies, Shane, another team that took care of business, and Jimbo still was not as pleased. The Aggies take care of business, 34-0 over New Mexico. And this defense, Shane, my God, I mean, Georgia may have the nation's best defense. Texas A&M might be number 2. I mean, they are playing some suffocating football right now. And, all of a sudden, Zach Calzada looked a little shaky against Colorado here. First touchdown of the game, 70-yard touchdown. They're hitting some big ones. Demas, the redshirt freshman, that was his first catch, a 70-yard touchdown, not bad. It really seemed like some of these young receivers for the Aggies. Moose Mohammed, another freshman, he had one hell of a catch in this ball game. It certainly seems like Zach Calzada looks a lot more comfortable back there, doesn't it?
Yeah, he does. And for starters, man, what about my man Terry Wilson? Leaving the SEC, could you imagine going down there? You guarantee he didn't look at the schedule, and he's like, shit, we got to play A&M. I felt bad for him, man. He was getting destroyed. But Mike, I don't want to say this is. I mean, don't get me wrong. Thank you, A&M. I appreciate the hundo. My lock of the week, going 3-0 at the time. I was on cloud 9, Mike. But I'm going to tell you, they should have won by more, and they didn't because of that offensive line. There were some times, I know Calzada is looking good at times, but there were some times he was running for his damn life from the Lobos, and that cannot happen if you're going to play. I mean, you think Arkansas ain't going to have some pressure on you, and you're having problems with the Lobos? So that's something they're going to – this is 2 weeks in a row, Mike, that they're not able to run at will or keep – keep the Calzada's jersey clean. There's no reason that should be the case. So, even though they did get a big victory here, I still think these guys need to look in the mirror because they got a long SEC schedule ahead if they cannot keep the quarterback clean.
Yeah, and that's something Jimbo Fisher talked about after the game. He says his damn team's playing average after 34-0 win. And, it sounds like you and he are on the same page there. But it's interesting you talk about the offensive line. I do agree with you. I think that'll be a weakness. I think one strength, one guy we've not hit on here, Anaya Smith, he had 2 returns, one called back, but that was a questionable call on it in itself, but nearly 2 scores on returns, and Arkansas special teams has been a weakness for several years, so that's going to be one to watch next week. Yeah, I think Arkansas has got to do everything in their power to keep it away from Smith because he is just on another level this season.
He's not human, man. He is not human. I mean, when you have to slow down an instant replay to see if the man even touched the ground as he's rolling around. I mean, it's unreal the athleticism he has.
When you say you need to learn to grow up and play more physical, is that something you can achieve in a week's time?
We'll find out. We better.
Right.
Because that team we're playing is very physical. That team we're about to play and the rest of them down the line in this league has big boy ball. So you better grow up. And it's not just always there. I mean, across the board. Talking about how you run routes, how you do things, block, run routes, catches, throws. Even if we on defense, do we want to take things on consistently? That we keep doing everything. We got to make sure we're a physical, tough football team if we're going to make it in this league.
In what ways did you see Zach grow from when he was thrust into action last week to when he had a week to know he was starting?
Well, I think his early throws in the game, he made good decisions early and was relaxed. And then sometimes when you play really good and that goes off real good, you keep thinking everything's a home run. Just hit the baseball. Just hit it hard or make the right decisions, what I keep saying. It ain't about throwing touchdowns. It's about throwing to the right guy, making decisions, making checks, managing. The game is bigger than anybody that's ever played it or coached it. It will bite you right in the tail when you think you're going to just go out there and do this and that. And that's one of the things he's got to continue. He has ability, but you got to continue to make the right decisions on every play.
To beat a team 34-0 and then come off the field and tell the sideline reporter we're very average right now, is that a commentary on like the expectations you have and where y'all are trying to go?
That's the truth. We're playing very average. I mean, we're much more capable of what we can do. But listen, potential is the worst thing you can have. Because that means you ain't done it. I hate the word potential. When somebody says you got a potential to have a good team, that drives me nuts. That means I'm not coaching right and they're not playing right. We got to get better in all those aspects, and we got to grow up across the board in everything we do and play with much more consistency as a team and learn to bend and play off each other.
Can you talk about this team getting ready for conference play and just what do you feel like they got to do? Because
what I just said, and we got to get better across the board fundamentally, mentally, and psychologically to understand what's about in front of you and to embrace it and to attack it. and not just go through it. You want to play real teams, man. This SEC West, it don't get no better. It's as good a ball as there is. And you better strap it on. And you better understand and you better like it, and you better be ready for it in all phases. Skill guys, quarterbacks, linemen, tight ends, backs, defensive linemen, linebackers, kicking, everything. And we need to get fundamentally better and get a nastier, meaner, tougher, more competitive attitude.